Welcome to the Castle Gamer Roundtable. I'm one of your co-hosts, Dwayne Samuels.
I'm Lance John.
And I'm Nate Rowe.
And we're gonna kick off the show today with one of I should say one of my favorite games. I don't know if my other co-hosts played them. You ever heard of Panzer Dragoon, fellas?
Yeah.
Heard of it, never played it.
Shame on you, man. Shame on you. I don't know what I'm gonna do with you, man. I'm tired of slapping you in the head. I don't know.
It's starting to get painful too, so I'm gonna have to pick it up.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it's called Crimson Dragon, and the name will sound familiar, but if you guys ever played a game called Panzer Dragoon, I believe it was Sega Saturn, right? If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Sega Saturn.
I played it on the
Right,
Xbox.
and then I think another one came out on the Xbox. It's mostly basically it's might as well call it like a shooter, but it's basically like a dragon using, and it's really good. I mean, the trailer I looked at, the game's not finished, and it looks like the game's finished, but it's really good. So I can't imagine when the game's done how the graphics gonna be. I know that just looking at it, I could tell the gameplay is gonna be similar with the targeting system and everything. But it's just a really great game to check out. Just check out the trailer we have up on our link on our page, and you'll see.
Yeah, it looked like an awesome trailer. I'm not a big fan of flying games, and that was one of my things when I saw the trailer. Was it looked like it was kind of it looked like a shooter, but it also looked almost like a flight sim type of game because you are flying around as this dragon. So I never played the first one. I don't know how big of a role that plays, like the actual flying around and stuff. Does it keep you on a straight path, or do you actually have to fly?
It'll keep on a straight path. Not one of those.
Oh, okay.
It's not one of those games where you just go fly off anywhere. Let's just say like an open world kind of flying game. It's not like that. You're basically on a straight path.
Okay, so it keeps you on your path, and you're just shooting crazy random stuff along the way.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a classic.
Yeah, I can get behind.
It's like a classic on rail shooter,
Because
you just put you on a rail, make sure you shoot everything in that path.
That's what's up.
But I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna put a little twist on it. It looks decent.
Yeah, the graphics look good. I mean, I'm not personally like a huge fan of dragons and stuff like that, but I mean, for the concept of what it looks like, and now that y'all explained it a little bit more, yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, I'd definitely play it.
yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
Get something good to check out.
Oh, that's
All
what's up.
right. Well, moving on from that, we're gonna talk about next time. Sorry. Let me rephrase that.
Get it together, man.
Get it. Damn it! I'm on camera. Damn it! Right, dog. Right.
Stage
Okay,
fright.
never mind. The dog can't talk apparently. I don't have one of those dogs, not yet. Anyway, if you guys, okay, anybody who's into computers, if you've ever had a computer of any sort, if you've ever used anyone of any sort in your life, then at some point, the next story we'll talk about, you've used a Linux operating system at some point in your life. Trust me, it's out there. You probably don't recognize it. Well, then again, it doesn't really have a recognizable feature to it, but it's Linux. But Steam and Linux decided to come together, or people, they didn't really come together because Linux is an open source platform. But Steam, where you can buy all your games for your PC, like the number one digital download PC distributor out there in the world, have decided to announce something called Steam OS, or OS stands for operating system for those of you who don't know what the hell OS means. But and according to them, it's going to be completely free. This is a free operating system where you can do. They mentioned four major things here, like they call it in-home sharing. In-home streaming, music, TV, and videos, family sharing, and family options. Like they're really touting the whole PC gaming in your living room for free. Except, I'm pretty sure the games are not going to be free. So if so have any of you guys ever used like Linux distro or like like just use Steam at all?
I mean,
Yeah, I use Steam on PC. I got a little. I have nowhere near the collection that some people do. I do consider myself very much a console gamer. I play occasional PC games. Diablo. It's just the bigger titles, honestly, on PC. Diablo 3, StarCraft 2, Guild Wars 2. Um, but I see this when I heard that. Um, it's a game changer. Like I look at it as a game changer. I mean, you got Valve, who Valve is always at least a year or two ahead of the consoles, and now you're saying that they're right before, coincidentally, right before the new consoles come out, they come out and say, hey, guess what? All your Steam games, instead of going out and buy a new console, you can get a free OS, get a free operating system and play all the games that you already own, all the friends that you already have. There's no switch over, penalty. It's not. There's no backward compatibility issues. You just download the operating system for your in-home, your in living room machine, and you're good to go. I mean, I think that's like a game changer. There are going to be some people that are like, wow, really? So I could just play Steam games on my TV, not have to buy a console. I think it could change the game. I mean, Valve has always been the intuitive ones. They've always been the ones that, like I said, they come out a year. All their ideas are a year or two before anything comes out on the console like that. They pretty much cornered the indie market, and then you saw PSN and Xbox Live come out and do the same. So I think this is going to be crazy. Like it has the potential to just change the industry altogether.
Yeah.
I kind of disagree in a way because you download an operating system to your computer, right? And then people so used to like Windows for gaming, and then now you're gonna have. And from what I was reading too, how I saw like a place where some people are like, it's good to have a game run in the background while you do something else. But now you have a new operating system where it might actually mess everything up, and you're being forced to basically to take this operating system if you want to use Steam now. I mean, we don't really know how they're gonna implement it right now, so all we could do right now is really speculate. But
we're Fox News at this point. We just say what we think, and maybe
I'm Glenn Beck.
Maybe.
Bob said we don't know how basically if it's gonna really be that great or bad. We can just basically speculate right now about it. But like you said before, though, Steam has not really let nobody down. They're really up there with the consumer. So I mean, it's just we just have to wait and see how it turns out.
And one thing about Valve is, they are their own independent company. You know what I mean? They're not a part of some huge conglomerate where they got corporate investors that they got to report to and stuff like that. They're their own company, so they set their own rules. I think this is a smart ass move on their part. I mean, I was kind of wondering what they were, with all the new talk about, the console warfare and everything like that. Valve was just really quiet, and it was, they came out with that announcement on Monday about the Steam OS, and then they're supposed to have, by the way, people, by the time you're going to see this, all announcements could be out. There's supposed to be another announcement on Wednesday, the 25th, and there's going to be the final announcement on Friday, the 27th. And so by the time you see this, the second and third ones could already be up. We'll have the link in the description, so stay posted on that. My personal opinion, I hoping that one of the announcements is either going to be Half-Life 3 or Left 4 Dead 3. You know what I mean? But, Valve was quiet. My whole point was Valve was quiet through the whole console battle thing, and now they've come out with this, and who knows what else these other announcements could be. So I think they're going to come out strong. And I'm not even a PC gamer, so that's a lot to say that I think they're going to come out strong. And,
I'm me being the resident PC gamer here, I'm more interested in the what hardware they're going to be using for this sort of thing. Like I'm from what I'm seeing here, according to them, like all the core Steam features that for those who've been using Steam for a long time, is still going to be there. Like they have over 50 million users on Steam right now. You know, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that bigger than Xbox Live?
I don't know numbers off the top of my head, but I know
I think
there's
it is.
it could be,
I'm,
you know what I'm saying? But then again,
yeah.
like I said, I have a Steam account and I use it very rarely. So, you know, some of those people
Yeah.
could very well be console gamers
Just
also.
be like that.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And
So,
and I'm not gonna lie, the barrier to get it in like full on hardcore, not even just even casual PC gaming is pretty high. Like
mhm.
it costs a lot of fucking money, to get a computer that can play computer games. Like, cause
Yeah.
and even if you do get one, then you might get one of the low end ones, and you may not see the game fully as it should be, or your shit might burn out. It's just so
Mhm.
many different things. So that's why I said I'm very interested in what are they gonna put this on? Can this work on any old piece of shit laptop? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, instead of me going and spending $1,700 on a laptop to play a game, whereas I could spend $400 on a PS4 and not have to worry about any of this stuff. I don't have to worry about driver updates or any of those features. So it's like I'm a little confused as to how are they going to push this off onto people, and how are they going to sell this to, like, how are you going to sell this to my girlfriend who don't know shit about this sort of thing, right? Like, think about it. Like, that's the question I feel Steam has to ask themselves right now. How can I sell this to a casual gamer? How can I sell this to people who don't even know anything about
Well,
this
the way
stuff?
the way they're making it sound like an in. They keep referring to in living room machines or something of that nature. So I can't really tell
Yeah.
if they're talking about this is going to be something you can download for your smart TV, so you can access all your Steam stuff, straight through your TV. They do mention the big screen. You take your games to the big screen, and some people who are
Right.
really into PC gamings might already have a huge monitor. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I'm
which,
assuming that's
like I
their
do.
kind of call towards the casual gamer is, hey, if we have this app or this operating system you can download for your smart TV or your Blu-ray player or whatever it is, now you can use those devices for your PC games. Your library is not going to change. If you're a new customer, you don't have any library, you don't have any games in your library yet. I mean, like I said, they're like the innovators of indie games. There's so many games on Steam. So I mean, they could just be pulling people in. Like if you have that casual person doesn't have a console, doesn't even have a computer, they have a tablet and a smart TV. Well, on their smart TV, they can now have Netflix, Hulu, Steam. You know what I mean? And it could, I mean, it,
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, you're right about that. That could be the maybe what they're talking about is like a Steam app. Maybe it's like because Microsoft does this thing called embedded systems,
yeah.
where it's a very very light Windows. Like, it's very very light, and you can pretty much put it on anything and it will run. Like, it would run like it's not powerful, but it will give you the features that you would need to get certain things done.
Hmm.
So maybe they're coming out to on that level where it's like this is Steam OS embedded, or maybe there's different levels. Maybe there's an app for the iPad. Maybe there's.
Yeah.
But like we said, it is. This is what today is Tuesday, September 9th. I mean September 24th.
September 9th.
So September 9th.
Whoa.
We are predicting the future.
Yes.
No, but we're from the past predicting the future, or something like that. I don't know. I don't
Marty!
know how time works, but
Get in the
Marty, what are
DeLorean.
you
Let's
doing?
go.
Yeah, doesn't Marty show up today?
I actually saw a commercial. That's beyond the point. But I actually
Yeah,
saw.
I think Marty shows up today. For those of you who are still young and watching us, go watch a movie called Back to the Future.
If you have not seen
And
Back
then
to the Future, you just
Yeah,
lost nerd
and-
points. I'm sorry.
Exactly,
Just a
and
little bit.
and when you see all three movies, you can come back and say thank
Pause
you.
this right
You
now.
have improved
watch
my
those,
life.
Come back and then click unpause
Yeah.
it, and then we now bestow you your awesomeness because you've seen those movies now. So
Here's your nerd award right here.
But anyway,
But,
yeah, moving
I'm-
right along. Let's
Yeah.
we've kind of been sitting on that for a little while. Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Hate to bring Sony back into the picture. We always just keep talking about Sony for some reason. I swear to you people, we're not fanboys of Sony. We're not huge fanboys. We're trying to keep y'all current on stuff. But PlayStation at the Tokyo Game Show, Sony came out and was talking about PlayStation 4's Playroom, that's going to come preloaded on every PS4. And I know there were, me and Dwayne kind of talked about this prior to this shoot, so I kind of know how we feel about that. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, what it is for people who don't know what the Playroom is, it's basically a little package of games and just interactive media and stuff like that you'll be able to use if you choose to get the PlayStation Eye, which is not included with the PS4. So basically, they're giving you this software and saying, here you go, here's something free, but you have to, if you want it, you're going to have to get the camera. Me personally, I'm not for the camera. I'm not for the Kinect. I'm not for the PlayStation Eye. I personally just don't like those. So I'm kind of cool with it's just like, oh, here it is. If you want it, you can have it eventually. You just have to eventually get the Eye if you want it. You know what I mean? But Dwayne, what were your thoughts on that? Because I want, let's be fair. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the other argument. You know
I mean, like I said, look at the video and everything else. Yeah, I do, because I have no problem with the Kinect, because I do have fun playing it. And the camera for PlayStation Eye, I had it for the PS3, the Eye, and the games they made for that. Ugh. If you see the expression of my face right now. So
did it wink at you?
So it's like that's why I'm still kind of skeptical of even buying the camera just to play this PS4 game here, even though it is free, because it looks nice. But the only problem I have is like, I get it, it's free, it's pre-installed, but there's no camera to play the game with. You have to go out and spend you have to go spend more money to get it. Now, if they had a bundle package, I would say fine. That's a good deal. I believe my personal feeling right here. That game should came pre-installed with the ones that come bundled with the camera, because I feel consumers are losing out in a way, even though it is free and we all love free stuff. I get it, but to me, that's just grimy, in my opinion.
What? Okay. Well, I own a PS3. I've never bought the Eye because they have never put out anything that interests me, as an adult gamer. But I did look at the video for this Playroom thing. It does look very interesting and very entertaining. It seems like something I would use. Me personally, this is something I would use for when I have guests over, or if I have young kids in my house, so to give them something to play with. It seems like something just to entertain people all around. But as to your point about, I don't think they're ripping off anyone. They're just giving you an option, just like any other product we buy today. Because if you buy something, well, for instance, you buy a cell phone, you have all these features, but some of them might require you to buy an additional app or an accessory just to utilize it. It doesn't necessarily have to come bundled, but this is just a way of them making extra money on the side, which is fine. That's completely fine for a company to do that. But I don't think they're ripping off anybody. They're just letting you know, hey, we have.
I'm not saying they're really ripping off. I'm just saying it's just kind of grimy in a way. They say, here, take this, but oh, sorry, you can't play it. You gotta go buy another piece.
Well, see, my argument to that is...
I just see it as grimy. I'm not saying they're ripping you off, because I get it. It's a business.
But that's not...
But I just see it as they're ripping people. I just see it as
being grimy. The thing with that...
It's not grimy.
The anti-argument to that, though, is, okay, then you got Microsoft that is forcing their consumers to buy this camera. And are they giving you, as far as I know, are they giving you any kind of software with that? Nah, so they're not only making you pay an extra $100 for this camera, but they're also not giving you anything with it. So if you want to utilize this camera, you have to spend more money anyway. You're gonna have to spend more money to buy a game. In this case, they're saving you the $100. Hold on, 1 second. And in this case, they're saving you that $100. You know what I'm saying, and giving you free software. So I just don't see what the problem with that is. You know what I mean?
Okay, my thing is, though, you would say, fine, they're not giving no free games. I get that point, right? But every game that comes out for the Xbox One utilizes Kinect in some way. It may not be no big jump to say, oh, we're going to use Kinect to this and that. But they have some form of way to use Kinect with the games. Watch Dogs, Madden, Forza, all those games use Kinect in their own way. It may be using it gimmicky wise, but every game uses the Kinect, so you're not really losing out. It's your choice if you want to use the Kinect or not. I get what you got to say. The extra $100.
It's
I get
not.
it.
It's
I get
not.
it.
You
I
just
get it.
said. You just said yourself. It's not my choice. It's not my choice at this point. They're forcing it on me, and now you just said that like every game is gonna have it. You know,
Every game
integrated
utilizes
in
Kinect.
its own way and stuff. So it's not an option anymore. That's what I'm saying. Is they're forcing it upon you.
No, but
PlayStation
you
is
don't
still
have to
totally
use
an
it.
option.
Right.
You don't
That's
have
the
to have
thing.
that access.
There-
You don't have to use the
what I
Kinect.
mean?
There is a difference between what's going on with Microsoft and Sony right now when it comes to these camera accessories. Microsoft is putting money behind the Kinect because they want developers to make games and make stuff that would work with it because
Instead of this being
it's
gimmicky.
part of the package. Right, it's part of the package. Whereas Sony is just saying, you know, to keep the price down on the main console, they're like, you don't have to buy this. It's more of a choice. I don't know if they're going to, if Sony in-house teams are going to put that much effort and development behind the PlayStation
I
Eye.
doubt it.
You know, but I guess we'll see what happens in
Well,
the future.
I can
But
answer that one.
like I said,
can
I
answer
don't-
that one. I doubt they can put a lot too much effort behind the Eye because this.
well, it wasn't an
Because
emphasis.
if you
really,
think about it, look
and-
at the Move. The Move came out and failed. Like they really didn't have nothing for it. They came out. It only
Yeah.
lasted, I could say, about 3-4 months. And
But then again, the Kinect wasn't
fair.
like a huge success either. Like, I mean,
wasn't.
innovatively
It
and
was-
maybe hardware wise, it was just because it is getting better. I'll give it to them. You know, the technology is getting better, but it's still. You said the word yourself, gimmick, like, you know, 2 or 3 times now. It really, like, that's how I look at it. You know what I mean? I
Well,
look
yeah,
at it as
that-
an
'cause
accessory that's
um,
totally not necessary for me to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, because what it is that I was reading like the developers at that time, right? They use the Kinect almost in a gimmicky way. Let's just say like I'll use Mass Effect as an example, right? You'll be like assault rifle and you switch, but you know Microsoft they package it because they want developers to like kind of use it more than just a gimmick for their games. You know, make a game that's actually great for the Kinect. Because let's say for instance Dance Central was probably one of the most popular games for the Kinect. But they want the other games like to utilize the Kinect much better, to do more stuff than like just shout something and then you do this. So that's why they're doing it. So I mean, we'll see. Only time will tell. Everything will still be new. So only time will tell.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
moving right along. What else we got, Dwayne, on the docket today?
I mean, what was it? Sony again. Oh, look at this.
Man, damn. Like, next week we have got... Next week, no Sony news. I'm putting my foot down. Nate Rose putting his foot down. You can't see it,
We're not.
but
We're not Sony lovers, you know. We have no problem with them.
it's
but,
not our fault. They're making the headlines.
They just hit the news.
Yeah,
now
it's not
they
our
make
fault.
now they
All the
making the
headlines.
news. Back, you remember how many months
So,
back
man.
it was all about Microsoft.
Xbox is just trying to. Yeah, if we had started this show a few months back, it would have been all Microsoft. Not necessarily
Yeah,
that would have
pretty
been a
much.
good thing, you know.
Well,
But,
I mean, speaking of Sony news right now, we all heard of the game Last Guardian. We all want to know what happened to it. Where did it go?
they
I
announced
shot
that in what 2007.
I mean, we saw a nice trailer, then it just vanished.
Shadow of Colossus
Yeah, I believe-
came out in 2005. They showed the first footage of that in 2007. And I mean, it's 2000, it's about to be 2014. Like, you've been working on this game now. Even after, okay, let's say that right after Shadow of Colossus, these guys took a year break, didn't do shit for a year. You know what I mean? That gives you a 7 to 8 year period where you've been working on this game. Like, at this point, I think people are wondering, is it canceled? Is it if it was going to be a PS3 title, my personal feeling is they would have already came out and announced it. And again, and also if it was canceled, hopefully they would have came out and already announced it. So I'm assuming that it's going to be a next gen title. But I mean, the trailers look good, but you know, I don't know, man. 7 years to make a
Well,
game.
I
It
can
better
tell-
be
I
a
can
long
tell you this
ass
much.
time,
awesome.
man.
That game, we can just forget about PS3. That game is not going to come out on PS3.
Oh yeah, I believe. Yeah, I concur. It's not coming.
Maybe I have a feeling maybe they knew the PS4 was coming. Maybe they knew like maybe they got first dibs on like the hardware, and they were like, you know what, let's hold off for it. And maybe they probably felt maybe the developer was like, well, we could because this is a first party game, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, it's made
This
by
is
the people at I think it's Japan Studios, and
yeah, the Sony. Yeah, this is in house. This is an in house
yeah,
game.
same guys who made Eco.
Oh, okay,
and
so
Shadow Colossus.
so maybe my theory could be right. Like they probably heard, like like yo, we're working on the PS4. They could probably do way more on the game,
But
than a PS3 can
but the
handle,
argument
because
with
if
that
you-
is 7 or 8 years. That I mean, they didn't even know. I mean, you have to remember 2007. That's like maybe a year after the PS3 came out. So
yeah, pretty
you know,
much.
I mean, they should have been focusing on that the most. You know what I mean? Like that's
Well,
what's confusing about this is like, why would you change platforms now if you've been working on it this long? I mean, I don't know.
Right,
man,
right.
You know.
Like to be fair, like at the time when PS3 came out, no one liked the price, so they probably was scrambling to try to advertise it properly. And then they have all these issues with if everybody remember the hacking scandal that happened a couple of years back, where they tried to like sue the guy into oblivion. And the relationship between gamers and Sony was really strained for a long time. So I guess since this is a first party game, it's an in-house game, they probably did not want to. They just didn't have the resources, or they didn't. It was like, you know what, let's not put this out because it's probably not going to sell because of the relationship that they have with their customers right now. So, I think that could be one reason. And also, if you ever play Shadow of the Colossus, it is a very ambitious game. They do push the system to its limits in terms of scale.
That's one thing I
and
respect Sony for.
graphics.
Like when I know games are made in house, you're gonna get good quality games.
Yeah. So who knows why? That could be a few reasons as to why they didn't push out this game as when it was advertised for. I mean, I was excited for it. And, I'm pretty sure the PS3 probably can handle it, but they probably want to push this out and make it way better than it was before, and just to see where it lands on its feet, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah. That's my thoughts on it.
Well, I mean, did you mention that the guy who did Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, he's still on? He had left, but he agreed to stay on to finish the game through, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, which is a great sign because I love Shadow of the Colossus. I wish they would just remake it.
Well, they made the HD version. You never bought it?
Nah, I don't want the HD version. I want them to go back in, rewrite the code, make it look better, open it up to co-op, and let's just add another 16 bosses and just go to town with it because it's such a unique game. I love this game so much.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, I know.
I'll go ahead and kill your dream.
Thanks,
right
Nate.
now. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Nate.
They'll do
Nate.
that
Just
when
ruin-
Square Enix remakes Final Fantasy VII, like they told us they were gonna do a long time ago.
And I'm sure they will because there's money to be made.
Well.
But anyway, moving on and trying to kill this stupid fly. We yes, we have our second to last story here. Horatio, the president of Nintendo, is dead.
Former president.
Yeah, I know. That's
Be
not
nice,
what
be
president-
nice.
Well, no, I think he's a nice guy.
I said be nice. So
You
you
know.
say you just say he's dead. Come on, be nice.
Well, he passed away
There you
recently
go.
at the age of 85.
We gotta be all correct in the spirit. to the
Like, he
20
died,
people
son.
that are watching this. We are so sorry if we offended any of you by saying he's dead.
If you're Japanese by any way, sorry about it.
Oh, man.
But he recently passed away at the age of 85, and he's been running this company for 53 years.
That is long. That's really long.
That's
5 decades. 5!
That's like some
Hey,
communist leader years.
That's just respect
right
for your
there,
elders.
you know what I'm saying?
I take it. I have to take it like that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I assume. Well, no, I shouldn't assume. I believe the Japanese culture does have a great respect for their elders and stuff like that. So, I guess this all makes sense. But if you guys have been under a rock, you don't know who he is. You should look him up and everything. So, if you are a fan of Nintendo in any way, you have this man to thank for making the decisions he's made over
If you're a
the years.
fan of video games in any way, you have to thank this man for
Yeah,
all the things
pretty much,
that he did, man. Ridiculous.
Because he, according to like this article, he took the company from playing like a card game into, a wooden console, and then moving from there, and and making one of the most beloved franchises in the world when it comes to gaming, in the gaming community. And then continue to just innovate on that and keep going and moving at their own pace. That's one thing I always admired about Nintendo, because they moved at their own pace. It was never about them competing with somebody else. It was just them doing them and doing it for whatever reasons they come up with. But that's how I feel about Nintendo. It is a beloved company with myself, for myself.
I mean, a lot of people look at this guy as, the Japanese Steve Jobs. I mean, that's how a lot of people refer to him. He, he ran. It would be hard to say he was a nice guy. Like, I'm sure he was a nice guy at times, but he ran that company with an iron fist. That's how he got so successful. It was funny in the article that we link. People go read that. In that article, it talks about he expected so much out of his employees that one of the janitors that worked at Nintendo was in charge of making toys for the company at one point. So I mean, that's how much he expected out of every employee. I mean, this guy. He didn't accept excuses, but then again, he built an empire. I mean, and like y'all said, 53 years, 5 decades. Wow. That can attest to anybody. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's just crazy. My hat is off to him, and, rest in peace. And, I hope his.
And if you guys had any fond memories for Nintendo at that time when you was born, around his time?
I learned how to add from playing the first Super Mario. I remember straight up, my mom was playing, and she would ask me how much it would be when I got a coin, and I would before she would get the coin, I would have to add it up, and when she got it, I'd see if I was right. You know what I mean? But yeah,
I would say one game that helped me concentrate, like helped me learn how to focus, was Tetris on the Game Boy, and. That gave me incredible focus growing up, and I still, every now and then when I can get my hands on it, I'll play it. But Tetris is definitely a fond memory for me on the Game Boy, specifically the Game Boy, because I never really enjoyed it anywhere else.
Well, one of my fond memories is the cartridge games blowing them things to work in an 8-bit Nintendo. Oh my goodness.
The what?
You don't remember having 8-bit Nintendo trying to get the game to work and keep blowing it? Go.
Yeah.
That's
the cartridge blowing.
That's my fond memories.
Like and then you had to open up the NES like little flap and you would blow in there too, just for good measure. Like
you know the deal.
You know what I'm saying? And then you would have to like push it up and down, maybe 15 times, and eventually it would work. And you'd be like, yes!
Exactly.
I remember that, man, for sure. But speaking of, this is the last topic of the day, and it's actually a good transition because speaking of fond memories, GTA, I know we talked about it a little bit last week with the online. Now it's out. It has been out now for over a week. And we've all had a chance to play it. And I kind of just like to go around just for shits and giggles and see what everybody's kind of best moment was. Mine personally, I would have to say, I'll go ahead and steal it from y'all if this was y'all's. Mine was going to the strip club. I remember my buddy telling me, man, you got to go to the strip club. And I went to the strip club, and when I first walked in, I was like, this ain't nothing, you know what I mean? There's, there's girls dancing around, And then he was like, nah, man, pay for a dance. And, they gave it an M rating for a reason. Because
for a big reason.
You see everything in this game but penetration, I swear. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know
it might just show
some parents are going to be mad as hell. They got it for their kids, you know what I mean? But what about you, Lance, man? What was your favorite?
I mean...
I would say so far, my favorite
Go ahead, Lance.
Two of my favorite moments was when I did the first heist.
Yep.
Just putting all that together and just seeing that happen, like your effect in that. That was really, really cool. My second favorite thing so far is meeting Trevor.
Yeah.
just his opening scene alone. That's about it. Just meeting Trevor. It's like, sounds like every angry gamer out there I've ever met in my life.
I put up a tweet one time that Trevor makes Charles Manson look like Matt Lauer. Like that's you know what I'm saying. That's always my comparison because Trevor is just the craziest. Oh man, like you don't want to cross him just because you know. And at first, I'll be very honest, he was I hated him at first just because I don't like the whole dingy, drug out, meth head.
Meth addict.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Not my favorite type of person in real life. So I instantly didn't like this guy, and just through his attitude after putting him in a suit and gave him a beard and some shades and stuff, he's grown on me. His kind of humor and his kind of attitude have kind of grown on me, and it fits real well with the GTA plot. You know what I mean?
I cleaned him up too. It's like I gotta clean this guy up because it was kind of hard to look at for a while, like all the meth scars. I'm like, there's gotta be something.
I had to put him in the suit with loafers, and you know what I'm saying. The problem with that is spoiler free, but the problem with that is sometimes in the game when you switch to him, Trevor has the funniest switches. Like you switch to Franklin, he's playing with Chopper. You switch to Michael, and he's sitting on his couch. Trevor, you switch to Trevor. I've switched to him one time. He was outside of a strip club, like half naked, drunk, didn't know how he got there. I've switched to him another time where he had 3 stars. He was running from the cops or something, and I have no idea. I have no idea why.
That shit happened to me, and I was like, "What the fuck? What?" It was like, and it took me like 10 minutes to get away from the cops. So I was like, "Oh god."
Dwayne, what about you, man? What are you liking about it?
I mean, I didn't really get too far in the game, but I think the moments I like in it is Franklin, man, where he's arguing with his homeboy and another guy. They just argue, just dish each other out. It's just so funny. You cannot just sit there and not laugh.
Yeah, that Lamar guy is.
You know what I'm talking about.
He's like
right?
Smokey from Friday. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm talking about. It's just
his little partner in crime he be stealing cars with and stuff. Yeah, man, that guy's funny. Hilarious.
Yeah. I shall say, yeah. I love the game. Right after this, I'm gonna go play some more.
Yeah, that sounds like an awesome idea. We're gonna get off here so we can go play some more Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. So bye,
peace.
But thanks for joining us today. So please sub, rate. We can't rate us on YouTube, but sub, leave a comment below. We enjoy constructive criticism. Yeah. Share it to your friends, whoever But you definitely can find Castle Gaming on Facebook. Just type in Castle Gaming. We don't have the URL just yet. We're working on that. But we do have a website, castlegaming.net. You can go over there as well and check that out.
Just look for the CG logo because you can find that.
Yeah, you can find out pretty easy
on Facebook.
Also, you can find us on Twitter as well. At Castle Gaming. But that's all the that's about it.
It'll all be
far
in the description down here somewhere. There will be info on every one of us if you want to give us a follow. So please give us a follow and please give us any kind of feedback. If you want to troll us. I encourage it because any kind of feedback is awesome feedback. So
yeah. Definitely. Hey guys, tell them where they can find you individually, like online. Like, what are you guys doing besides Castle Gaming?
Well, I'm on. I got my blog on IGN, which is ign.com/blog/xshepherdx. You guys can hit me up on Twitter at TheRealShepherd, Shepherb, and again, all this will be in the description. Or you can hit me up on Facebook. And I'd love to chat with you guys.
You can definitely find me in the description below. I'm gonna put an About Me link so you can see everything that I'm doing. Like about.me Lance John / Lance John. I believe that's how the URL goes. But you can definitely find me on Facebook as well. Just type in Lance John. look for a weird Pillsbury Doughboy face blowing apart with candy coming out of it.
He's really that big.
Yeah. I am 90 feet tall and I have candy coming out of my face.
I've seen it.
You know, it's special. You can find, pretty much, everything you will need to know about me, and the About Me URL will be there, so you can see all the projects I'm working on, what I'm doing, and such, and that sort of thing. Yeah. What about you doing?
You can find me on Twitter at Striker2000. You're gonna spell Striker with STRYKER. Okay? And you can find me on Facebook, Dwayne Samuels. So, I mean, those are 2 spots you can hit me up at.
Yeah. So, until next time, ladies and gents,
Mm-hmm.
keep on the good gaming, and we shall see you guys next week.
Next week.
Same time,
All right.
same channel, and all that good stuff. Peace out.
Peace.
All right. It's Castle.